Working here in Mississippi today. It's been cold this morning, so the way we're dressed out here, but working a property, gonna improve the habitat, and I see this a lot, but here's a pine stand that's ready for the first thinning, and pine prices are down. I know we go to the store and buy two before, they're way up. You know, how can that be? But you as a landowner, me as a landowner, we're not really seeing that. Matter of fact, we're told here by your forester that we're having a little trouble getting rid of wood. The local mill, this is called being on the quota, they can only take so much. So when we're trying to do wildlife habitat work, but with a valuable resource like timber stands, you may want to postpone that a year or two to wait for the market to come up. It's not like a food plot where, hey, I'm gonna plant this, I'm gonna go store and buy seed and plant that. So anyway, but when we look around a little bit here, we can see a pretty close canopy forest. We're midday, more or less in time, and not a lot of sun, a lot of shade on the ground still. And it's a sea of brown, right? Here we are in spring in Mississippi. It's cold today, but it's been warm.
It's been nice.
Yeah, 70.
Been fishing weather.
Yeah. And it's not greening up right because there's just not enough sunlight down here. So prescription here is probably no surprise. I'm gonna ask this gentleman to have the forester thin this a little thinner than normal because your goal is more wildlife than timber value.
Correct.
So I'm going to write a prescription to reduce it down to about 60 basal feet per acre. Think of a tree being 1 foot through at about chest height. And if you had 60 of those trees per acre, 60 basal feet per acre.
Gotcha.
In easy math. If they were 2 foot through, we'd have 30 per acre.
Okay.
So, and the ratio that works out, it's not necessarily the size of the tree, it's how much crown we end up with. Okay. And that determines how much sun is on the ground. Now, of course, we got inches of pine straw in here now, but we will use prescribed fire to log and we'll scarify the land a good bit. And then we'll use prescribed fire. And then a year or two after that, I'm gonna suggest that they apply an arsenal or an imazapyr-based chemistry, and that will not hurt your pine trees at all. Here's a sweet gum right here, and we see sweet gum saplings just all through here. Well, if we let light in here, those are gonna explode and you won't see 20 yards in here.
Correct.
And they'll be competing with your pine trees for moisture and nutrients. If pines are a crop tree, but we can have the best of both worlds. We're thin, we're letting sweet gums gain a little momentum. We're just spray with an imazapyr-based chemistry, which is really safe, about the same toxicity as toothpaste for humans, but wicked on hardwoods, not gonna hurt your pines at all. Use a fire, and this will develop in native grasses and forbs, and it'd be a pine savanna, awesome hunting, and your residual pine trees are still growing for that ultimate goal of a pine tree, which is being a telephone pole.
Oh, right.
Right, that's a big value for a pine tree. So you're gonna have your cake and eat it too.
Great.
You're gonna go from, like ramen noodles, starvation food here, to having a really high quality cover and food, plus making money off pines.